Freedom's not dependent on luck or any chances. Freedom's not dependent on who you're with or how you feel. Freedom's not dependent on what you do or if you're healed. Look at the prison walls, what are they made of? Can't you see? You're already free. You're already free. You're already free. You're already free. That does not mean that you don't feel whatever human stuff gets touched, but you can't understand that for the mind it seems all too much. Even if you are completely touched and you don't feel free, you are the one that's never touched. You are the one that sees. You are not the one who was brought up.
You're not the one, you're not the one.
You are not the one who feels caught up.
You're not the one, you're not the one.
You are not the one who can get stuck.
You are not the one.
You are not the one who's having bad luck. Look at the prison walls, what are they made of? Can't you see? You're already free. 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 You're already free.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hello to those of you joining me in person, well, almost in person on Zoom, and also to those watching the live stream on YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't respond to any questions or have a dialogue if you're on YouTube. So if you would like to next time join us on the Zoom, then you'll be very welcome. So today's theme is, how is community helpful on the spiritual path? And there's a lot to say about that theme. But before we get into it, we just start with a few minutes of just tuning into how we're feeling in this moment. So if we just get comfortable and close our eyes, take some deeper breaths, deeper than normal, into the belly. And with each breath, as the breath passes through the various parts of the body, using the breath to just Notice how this body is feeling in this moment. What is the physical, emotional landscape in this moment? And whatever it is, it's absolutely welcome to be here just the way it is, because it is here, whether we like it or not, or whether we think it should be here or not. This is the present experience. And if there are thoughts, we acknowledge them just like anything else. But we don't give thought any more attention or value or meaning than any other sensation. And as we notice whatever is happening in this present experience, physically, emotionally, and mentally, there is that is beyond all experience, aware of it, aware of whatever is here without exception. The seeing of it, the knowing of it. And this knowing is your true nature that is always still, always at peace, no matter what is happening in the play of experience. Then we can bring our attention to the breath again. Some deeper breaths. We can feel the sensation of the bum on the seat and the feet on the ground. And when we're ready, we can open our eyes. So, the theme today is how is community supportive on the spiritual path? Now, the spiritual path or the path to awakening can be a very lonely path because really, as we wake up out of beliefs about who we have believed ourselves to be, and we lose more and more of the ground under our feet that we thought was safe and secure and real. And we're free falling more and more in life. This is something that is very difficult to share. And there can be a deep longing to share this, especially with our loved ones, to alleviate any suffering, or just to share because we're passionate about it. And it becomes very challenging to really share it. And because when we try to share it, it just can sound like concepts or some new religion or something like that. And really the only way that we can share it is in meeting ourselves. And naturally, we meet the other as ourselves. So it's not about looking outwards to the other and saying, please meet me. I need you to meet me. But meeting myself. And then when the other arises, when the other appears in our experience, they are like a bonus. They are a wondrous play of the other, of myself as appearing as the other. So, of course, then we're curious and fascinated about the other and how whatever they say or do or whatever is happening in the world around us, how that might affect our experience. And we see that this is the play as if there is separation, but truly it's all happening in who I am as life itself, awareness itself, that is aware of the whole dance of the world. And so on this path where in fact we are always alone, right? We are meeting ourselves in everybody, and yet this can't be shared. It can feel very lonely, especially in our modern world where, we are often finding it challenging to meet others in a real and open, intimate way. Perhaps we have, these kinds of online meetings, of course, are beautiful, but to meet in a real eye to eye, face to face way, of course, is so much nicer. And it's becoming increasingly difficult to meet each other like this. And so this is why I feel like community actually is so valuable on this path. And of course, community means others who are also on the same path of awakening to themselves, others who are also willing to keep looking at themselves. And it's not always an easy path, right? It's not always smooth. It comes with many challenges and ups and downs. But if you're willing to keep meeting those challenges and seeing them as an opportunity for meeting myself in this too, when we meet others who have a similar passion for the truth, a similar love of awakening, continued awakening, this is so supportive. So we're still alone with it, really, but at the same time, we see that, in fact, we're never alone. And this is the paradox, really. We meet others who are exploring issues in their lives that might touch us in ways that we didn't expect. Or perhaps we're exploring something in our own lives and we hear that somebody else is exploring or experiencing something similar. And then we feel somehow reassured, okay, I'm not so alone with this. And we can have a lot of deep insights in this reflection with the other. As we hear the other exploring themselves from a different perspective. And then we get an opportunity to see myself in that different perspective. And so, yeah, it's I found it's really a supportive thing, which is why so often traditionally on spiritual paths, people come together, whether it's in religion, in churches or synagogues or mosques or temples, coming together to pray, or in ashrams or various communities. There is a sense of a wide and broad energy of holding that happens when we meditate together as a group. We feel this, that we are somehow the the depth that we experience is even deeper when we are all meditating together or when we are singing together. We are touched by the communal voices. When we have a sharing circle, we are touched by the other, and there's this reflection. When we dance together, there's the energetic exchange and the way we can lift each other up in all kinds of ways. Yeah, actually, when humans come together, it is incredibly beautiful what we can create. It is also very painful, of course. There's all kinds of terrible things that can happen when people come together as well. But if we come together with the intention to explore ourselves in a deeper way, to awaken, to wake up to what is true, to continue endlessly, to courageously meet ourselves, no matter what that might look like or feel like. Yeah, something amazing can happen. And this is actually my intention behind the Love of Truth community that I have. And actually, I see several of you here are in that community. And I'm so deeply touched every time we meet at how we reflect each other, we support each other, we bounce off each other, right? There's more and more growth that happens when we meet together in this way, with all with the same intention. And everybody has totally different lives and comes from different perspectives, different angles, but it doesn't matter because there's a resonance beyond all the stories and beyond the different experiences and different perspectives. There's a resonance, there's a meeting beyond it all. And that's where we most deeply connect. Where in fact there's no connection because there's no separation. Okay. Well, I'd love to hear from you and to hear, yeah, if you have anything you want to question or ask, share your experiences of this related to this topic. If you want to have a dialogue, just raise your hand. And you can also type a question in the chat. Christina,
Hi, Unmani.
hello.
Hi, all. I want to share yes, about this community. It is very supportive, and like you say, these different angles, and you can see from different angles things, and um, yeah, it's very. Um, I don't know how to express, uh, but good, good, and it's this sharing, yes, uh, yeah. And somehow, in the end, it feels very more open in the end of every session. Yeah,
Yeah.
more, yeah,
Yes, it's like we have a confirmation. If you express something from your own experience, and then others say, you know, how they experience it, and there's a kind of confirmation
Yeah.
when we hear from others. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is I see in working with people in the community, in the Love of Truth community over a period, I see incredible growth from people that I've known for, you know, in this community for a long time. And it's so beautiful to see this unraveling that happens for people in this supportive, safe space that we create. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
Margot.
Hi, Unmani.
Hello.
Yeah, it's not really about um, people on the spiritual path, but I was touched by what you said about reaching for the other or needing the other to see you. And yeah, it made me think about my journey trying to conceive and imagining that having a child would somehow, yeah, make me feel seen, or that someone loves me and needs me, and yeah, feeling this longing for a child. And then, well, if that doesn't happen, then feeling the grief of that. So when you said that actually there is no other, or there's just myself and others appearing in that, in what I am, yeah, that felt really comforting to know that, well, whether I have a child or won't have a child, it's just another image appearing in my true nature, and or
It does
not.
it does
And
doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt though,
yeah,
that you don't experience the grief if you know if it happens like that. But still, yes. I mean, ultimately there is no other, but we play as if there is, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something I don't know, was interested by or wanted to explore. Like, yeah, it's really weird and paradoxical that uh, in the end you said there's no separation, and I had this feeling of um, well, I experience life just as sort of images happening on a screen, and then the screen is, I guess, the same for everyone. So it's just all images happening on the same screen, I guess. Uh,
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you could say it like that. Yes, yeah. Yeah, but
And
it's such a paradox. I mean, yeah, that it's there is only life, you could say, or you, I, and all of this is just appearing in who I am and playing as if there are separate people and separate, you know, even if you were to have a child, as if, you know, that child would be a separate body to yours, and it's a mysterious, wondrous play, but it is all happening in who I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the grief, I mean, the grief will still be there if it doesn't happen, but I don't know, for now it feels somehow comforting that whether it happens or not, yeah,
Yeah.
it will not touch the, well, what I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you might have to ride the waves of the experience of grief or joy, or whatever it is. You ride the waves of that in the human experience, because you are also the human.
Mm.
You are life itself expressing itself as this apparent separate human. So that's the play that we play out. And as this separate human, we meet. We can meet each other, and we can have a sense of community and support and connection, which is wonderful. But in knowing the truth of who we really are, then there is less of this dependency or neediness, because we know that actually we can never get something from the other, because they're appearing in who I am. They're just another aspect of myself. And so what could they have that I don't already have? Of course, we can dance together, we can meet, we can connect, play, or whatever. And that's beautiful and challenging and everything in between. And that's how we explore ourselves as humans also. That's how we also wake up out of old patterns and beliefs. But at the same time, they're never separate.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Something to think about. It's all dancing in my head right now.
Maybe while you're, I don't know if it's too much dancing in your head, but if you want to share your experience of the community on this subject.
Yeah. Oh, I've been following your work for, well, I think more than 10 years now, and
Oh, time
sorry?
time flies.
Flies. Yeah, I think it was 2015 that I first met you.
Mm.
And I've been in the Love of Truth community for a few years. And yeah, I really love, I love these open meetings, but yeah, I guess I love the community meetings more because you really get to know the people in the group and their stories, their characters, and yeah, like you said, you see them evolve over time. And when I hear someone else speak on the open meetings, then, well, sometimes I recognize something and sometimes not. But with the Love of Truth community, because I deeply know the other people and feel more connected, then also that recognition can be more powerful. I can, that the insights that I can get from other people's dialogues are deeper because I feel more connection with them and I know them better, and I know the story behind their questions. And yeah, so I think that's really beautiful. And also being in a group where everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say my true nature or what I am or whatever. I don't have anyone except maybe my partner, who knows what I'm talking about when I talk about your work or my true nature or non-duality. So it's really, yeah, it's a lifeline, I guess.
Yeah.
I would feel quite lost if I didn't have this community, because this, I guess this truth is maybe the most important thing in my life, especially in my spiritual life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
and also what you said, that meeting in person is even better than meeting online. So yeah,
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
really looking forward to the Holland retreat in the
Mm.
summer. I will book my ticket soon
Okay, great.
before the early bird deadline
Yes.
expires, which is, I think, in a few days.
Yes. And thank you, Margot. Yeah, thanks for expressing that.
Thank you for facilitating the group. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Mm. Yeah, I love it too. Mm. Yeah. Tino.
Hi, Unmani.
Hi.
It's not right this topic, but I want to share something with you. And the last time, there's someone in myself who wants to remember, and I'm not sure what it is. It seems like maybe it's a little bit like an awareness of death, that I know I'm not endless here. And maybe that's why I want to look backward, or I want to know something about my past and the childhood, and I see a lot of gaps. And I'm wondering what it is. Is it is it I want to forget something, or is it normal that 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 it's not present? So maybe you know what I mean. It's so that I'm not sure. Are these gaps because I don't want to know it anymore? So
You mean
I had the
gaps in memory or what?
yes. So I don't know actually what happens in my childhood from birth to 6 or 7. So I know it. So, and now it seems to me that it's not only my childhood. So it's sometimes in my life that I don't know it anymore. So, and now it comes to the question: was it not important, or was I not there?
Well,
Maybe I can.
first of all, the question to me would be more like, does it matter?
This is a good question, yes, and I'm unsure, because I ask myself, what are you doing? You was not present. What is it? So maybe it's this question, yes.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, memories from 0 to 6, I think not that many people remember much from that time anyway. I mean, it's, I don't think it means that much really. And other periods in your life, well, yeah, but I mean, the point is like, it obviously you're believing somehow that it means something to you now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would wonder, like, who does it mean anything to you now?
Mm.
And what does it mean about you if you don't remember things?
It's some I can't express it in English, but it's that I have the question: was I blind?
Okay. And if you were, what does that mean about you?
It's makes me sad.
Yeah. I mean, that somehow you've lost something, or what is the sadness?
That's the point. I don't know really what I want to remember.
Yeah, it sounds like you're really trying to remember something that you've lost in some way, or it's that disappeared. And maybe it's okay that it disappeared. Maybe it doesn't mean anything about you.
Mm.
And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I stop trying to remember something and just let it go, if there is something to remember, it pops up by itself or not. And that's how it is, you know. But the trying to remember usually doesn't help very much.
Mm. Yeah, sometimes it feels like it's another remember. It's like maybe it's this feeling I want to come home.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And you can't, you won't be able to find that home in restoring memory.
Mm. Mm.
You know, actually, the home that you're most deeply longing for is here right now.
Mm.
It's not in a past memory. Although, I mean, obviously, when we are children, it seems like we're more kind of connected to that. There's more of that freedom in our experience. But the home that we're longing for is here. And by being busy with trying to remember something from the past, you're overlooking this home right now.
Mm. 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 Yes.
Yeah. So maybe it's just about feeling the pain of lost memory, feeling the longing of, the longing to come home, and feeling that now.
Mm.
It's not about the past at all, and just about feeling the pain, the heartbreak now.
Mm. Mm. Thank you.
Thank you. Sashko.
Hi, Unmani.
Hi.
Is it allowed to say something to Tino, as I know him from
Uh,
my community?
okay, sure.
Tino, I remember that you very often look for dramas. You look for dramas in the past, and yeah, to make something bigger. And if there's no drama, then you don't feel alive or something like that. Over many years, I think it's, yeah. If you stay only here, and you are then at home, then you are losing again this time now, as you are watching again somewhere else, you know. So you are not only losing what you think, you lost the past, you are losing always now.
Yeah.
That's about, yeah.
Well, perhaps that if you know each other outside, of here, maybe you can have a private conversation another
Sorry,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's, what you said is true. I mean, I don't know, experience, but yeah.
But what I wanted to say at first, that I have seen Jean-Marc and Margot and only in this one retreat, and I was so happy that they are here. It was really, it touched me deeply, and it was nice to feel only that somebody I've met only once. I met them deeply, yes, but yeah, only to feel it and be happy and say, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that real resonance, with
Mm.
when we meet them, especially in person, of course, live, it's always better. But when we meet each other in a real and intimate, raw way, and we share deeply, then yeah, it's like a lifelong friend, even if you actually don't know anything about them. Yeah.
Yeah, there's such a deep connection somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sashka. I have a little dog who's trying desperately to get out, and I have to just let her out because she's scratching at the door. 1 second. Now she's happy. Ah, Jean-Marc.
I was wondering if you saw my hand because I have some gloves. Yeah. Maybe that's a story, but I think that without the community, I wouldn't be attending this group, this video now. Yes, as as some of you know, I'm subject to mood disorder, and it rocked the boat last summer, and it took months before I to come back to the group, and in a different way, because I'm not so sure of what I want from this group. I've seen that I can't get rid of the disease, so and I would say, the disease, but anything else, I can't get rid of what happens in my life, and so that's a different way to share and to come to the group now.
Yes, it's different motivation. And maybe before you had this hope that somehow by coming on the spiritual path, that you would be able to heal your disease,
Mhm.
but actually, I feel it's a positive thing to see that it's not possible, and then it's more about acceptance and living with it.
And living with everything that happens now.
Everything, yes, of course.
Mhm.
And it's not always easy, of course.
Yes, I think it's fear is a big thing in my life, and there is a connection between the work I'm doing with you and the fear that happens when I have this kind of crisis, like last summer, and it happened many times. So there is something. It seems there is something very big at stake here, and um, maybe the fear to disappear somewhere. Go. I know what is said by many people or teachers, and I'm still interested in that. I read or listen. So, and I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there can be fear, the fear of disappearing, and still the disappearing simultaneously. It's like the fear wants to hold on to avoid disappearing, but in fact, it's too late. There's nothing to hold on to because there's no one here. You've already disappeared, right?
Yeah.
And
But
this,
the mind wants a proof of that
yes,
to be sure to know,
yeah,
and I won't never know.
thing to hold on to, right?
Mhm.
Someone to be. Yeah.
And in fact, this doesn't change anything in my life at the moment. And okay, let's see.
I mean,
What
I would say that although you've had a lot of ups and downs in the last few years, or in fact your whole life, but um, the changes may not be visible to you in a very obvious way, but there's definitely, I mean, at least from my perspective, having known you for a few years now, that there is has been such a maturing and a softening in you, even though you've had you've had quite a wild ride, and still somehow the way you face these challenges each time, I've watched you go through hell, and yet still the way you face it and meet it is very courageous.
it's not finished
No,
yet.
no. Okay.
No, I would say it can't stop, and it's not of me, in a way. I can't stop the process.
Yeah. Yeah, it's out of our hands, huh? The wild waves of life.
Uh, yes, there is knowing where life wants me to go, if I can say it that way.
And all we can do is surrender to the next thing that happens. Huh?
Mhm. And it's difficult to share unless in this community.
And
Maybe
that brings
community of that
back,
kind. Mhm.
yeah, that brings us back to this sense of aloneness in most circumstances with most people in the world, to actually share what we're talking, to have this kind of conversation
Mhm.
is very rare. unless we're amongst people who, are on the same path or recognizing
Yes,
them.
it's talking about something you can put the finger on. You said it many times.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Yeah. And it can be very frightening when you can't put your finger on it. You know, it's about losing control. Yeah.
and I don't always see the fear. That's not what comes first. I learned to stop in a way the feeling.
Yeah.
But I feel it now, just before speaking, and even now, not so easy. What am
Yes.
I doing?
But your courage is always, it always touches me because, you feel such rawness, like this fear, and here you are, you just share, yeah, I feel afraid. And you often start your dialogues with, I feel this fear in my body, which is so beautiful that you share that. It's very human. I mean, everyone experiences these kind of feelings. But just the very fact that you welcome it right at the beginning, like, yes, I
Yeah.
feel this, and this is what's here, and I'm showing up anyway, courageously, taking this step to share anyway.
And that's a necessity for me to recognize it.
Yeah. 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 I mean, in a way, to call it courage sounds like you're trying to be courageous, but actually, as you say, it's a necessity. It's a matter of life or death, even. That if you don't acknowledge it, it feels unbearable.
So I have to speak.
Yeah. Great. Oh, thank you, Jean-Marc. Yeah. Okay. Dashko, round number 2.
Sorry, yes.
Welcome.
What's a little bit what I feel a little bit uncomfortable is that there's in this community in the internet, there's parallel YouTube where people can see me, but I can't see the people. So
Yeah. But this isn't a community meeting, huh? This is an open meeting. So
okay, yeah, okay. But this is as I say everything what's in me. And there's the last time I was talking to you, later I was asking, is there a recording? Yes, on YouTube there was a recording. And then it came to me, okay, everybody could see who wants to see. And
yes, it's on our web page, when you book for this open meeting that
yeah,
that it is going to be live streamed.
yeah.
Yeah. So then it's your choice, and it's it's a choice, right?
But also it's okay for me. This was this experience to ask myself, is it okay? And yeah, I was surprised of myself that it was okay. It doesn't matter if
Yeah.
I was
What have you
it
got to
was me,
do?
so I only showed me, so then it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, what do we have to protect anyway, really? I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, of course, but not everyone feels to show up like that, but and it's totally fine. Yeah. And of course, you know, another option in these meetings is to not have your camera on, although it's less personal, let's say. And another option is to just to listen in and not to have a dialogue at all, or to just type a question in the chat. So there are many forms, or to just watch on YouTube. Yeah. But it's, of course, it's very different to the Love of Truth community meetings because they're not live streamed. And
It's really a safety room.
yes,
Mm.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else have any last questions or comments? Maybe someone else wants to share their experience of the community or anything else? Nicole.
Hi, Unmani.
Hi.
Hey, everyone. So yeah, after our last meeting, I said to you I was quite emotional. The whole meeting was quite intense and emotionally, and it really triggered something in me. And I found as soon as we came offline, I just curled up in a ball and cried my eyes out. And there was this child in me that just really wanted to cry like a child. And what was really interesting is there was also awareness watching and allowing with no story. There was no story around the child. I don't even know how it happened, what happened. It was just this big unloading.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it was needed, and yes, maybe that was just building, and the community helped it along, sort of thing. I don't know. Got no idea.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, it's mysterious how these things work, really. But sometimes, something can just energetically touch something that's just, you know, ready to open.
Yeah, it was an interesting process. And then the next moment I'm cooking dinner and nothing else has happened.
Yeah, and that's also so beautiful when waves of intensity, let's say, can pass through easily, you know, without too much of a story or any story meaning. It's just, okay, here's a wild wave and it passes through and okay, and then the next thing, you know, we go on with life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's free, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because I could also feel that the person wanted to come in and make it something. No, it's not needed.
And, you know, even if that happens, you can still take it lightly. Okay, that story, you know, that's a kind of an interesting story. Why not tell that story? But still doesn't mean anything. And I'll just go and make dinner now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I think I wanted to say on this circle, just to say that, you know, the Love of Truth meetings mean so much to me, so much to me. I hadn't realised until these recent months how much they really support me in my exploration. Yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you everyone for that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that. And I really feel like with the community, what supports the community itself is how much people put into it, you know, like when you share from, you know, what is real and raw and true for you, then in a way that's what you get back, you know. yeah, I've seen that again and again, that yeah, how people will just kind of, let's say, vomit what's here, you know, even if it's messy and horrible or painful or crazy or whatever. And then everybody kind of opens more when someone's being real. It's like we can all go,
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone. So yeah, it's I love it. I love it. I'm always
Yeah.
so touched.
Yeah. When you're saying that, it's just made me realize it's almost like that process as well is bringing an innocence to the table.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And a
Mm.
kind of mutual permission and confirmation. Like, you know, if you can just share all the human mess, then I will too. Now, okay, we're all going for it now. Let's just be real. Finally, we can be real together, you know.
Yeah. 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 Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, just as a point of information, if you are watching this or listening to this and you're interested in the Love of Truth community, or it's resonating with you in some way, you can go on my website and have a read of what it involves or what it includes, and see if it, you know, if you're moved to sign up. You're very welcome. If you feel you're in love with the truth and want to explore on a regular basis and work with me regularly, then yeah, very welcome. I think on that note, we will end for today. So thank you very much, everyone. And also to let you know that this Saturday, I am being hosted by the Open Circle Center in California, doing an online open meeting on the theme of how can we embrace the whole of life. So that's on Saturday, 22nd of February. And then the next one of these is on the 5th of March on the theme of, do I need to practice being present? So another interesting question. And if you ever have suggestions of themes for these open meetings, I'd love to hear any suggestions. So if you have any, please email us to admin@dietolove.com. Yeah, because I sometimes run out of ideas for these open meetings. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. It's been a pleasure, and see you soon. See you next time. Lots of love, everyone.